Win the World Cup and your country gets $50 million. Lose every single game, go home first, and you still get 9. But here's the part almost nobody does the math on. Almost none of that money reaches the players. And the team that wins it all? They earn less than one player makes in a single year. Let me show you where the World Cup's money actually goes. The 2026 World Cup is the biggest ever. 48 teams, 104 matches, 3 host countries, and FIFA has put up a record prize pool. $655 million, split among all 48 nations. That's up 50% from the last World Cup. Quick warning because you'll see the wrong number everywhere. A lot of sites report an $871 million pool. That is not FIFA's official figure. The real number is $655 million in prize money. And every single team makes money just for showing up. Even if you lose all 3 group games and fly home first, your federation collects at least $10.5 million. Here's how the ladder works. FIFA pays by finishing position, not by round. The further you go, the more your federation collects. Get knocked out in the group stage, and you still get $9 million plus preparation money. Survive to the new round of 32, and it's $11 million. The round of 16, 15, reach the quarterfinals 19, then the top 4, 4th place, $27 million, 3rd, 29, the runner-up 33, and the champion, say, $50 million. Just by winning your first knockout game, your federation earns more than most of the losing teams took home for the entire tournament. But the ladder isn't the surprise. The surprise is who actually keeps it. Because here's the part almost nobody explains. FIFA does not pay the players. FIFA pays the national federation. And what happens next is entirely up to each country. Most federations keep a slice, often around 20%, then split the rest among the squad and the staff. But there is no universal rule. Some countries are generous, some are not. And that gap is where the fights begin. 2014 Ghana. The players threatened to boycott a World Cup match over unpaid fees. The government literally flew around $3 million in cash on the president's plane to Brazil to keep the team on the pitch. Same tournament, Nigeria. The squad refused to train in a dispute over bonuses until the federation agreed to pay. So when you see $50 million to the champions, remember, that number is the start of a negotiation between a federation and its own players, not a check that lands in the locker room. And there's a second group getting paid without kicking a ball, the clubs. When a player goes off to represent his country, his club still pays his wages and risks him getting injured. So FIFA runs something called the Club Benefits Program. It pays clubs for releasing their players to the World Cup. For 2026, that pot is $355 million, up around 70% from the last tournament, spread across hundreds of clubs worldwide. A single club can collect millions from FIFA just for lending its stars. Money that flows to the club, not the player. So follow the full chain of one World Cup goal. FIFA collects billions from broadcasters and sponsors. It pays the federation prize money. It pays the club a release fee, and somewhere at the end of that chain, if his federation agrees, the actual player who scored gets his bonus. So is the World Cup where footballers get rich? Let's do the math. The entire champion federation gets $50 million to be split among a 26-man squad, the staff, and the federation itself. Now compare that to what one elite player earns in a single year. Cristiano Ronaldo's on-field pay alone is around $230 million a year, over 4 times the entire champion's prize. Even Messi's or Mbappe's salary, around $70 million each, is more than the whole winning team's prize money. The World Cup is the biggest stage in sport. But for a top player, the paycheck is a rounding error, next to a club contract. Which tells you something important. The World Cup isn't an athlete payday machine. It's a federation and FIFA machine. The players supply the magic. The institutions collect the money. So, next time a country lifts that trophy, here's what actually happened to the money. FIFA paid the federation, not the players. The clubs already took their cut for lending the stars. And the $50 million prize, the biggest in history, is smaller than one superstar's yearly wage. The lesson is bigger than football. In almost every industry, the people who create the value on the field are rarely the ones who capture the money. That flows to whoever controls the structure. If that changed how you see the game, that's exactly what this channel is about. The logic behind how money really works.